Carne Desmechada, Vieja Ropa, or Colombian pulled beef. Whatever you want to call today's recipe, I'm willing to bet my last cerveza this will be your new favorite. This melt-in-your-mouth pulled beef tastes so authentic, everyone's gonna think you ordered it from a restaurant, yet it's easy to make and the ingredients are so simple. I'm gonna start off with a sirloin tip roast. Normally you're supposed to use flank steak or chuck for this, but this is all I had today. I'm gonna add it to a pressure cooker with white onions, green onions, some garlic, a couple of bay leaves, and salt and pepper. Now I'm going to cover this with enough cold water so that everything's just submerged. And if you don't have a pressure cooker, don't sweat it. You can do this in a regular pot, but it's going to take close to 3 to 4 hours to cook. In a pressure cooker, this takes 1 to 1.5 hours. So as soon as that little valve pops up, you don't want to open it. That means it's cooking under pressure. I'm going to let it go for about an hour and 15 minutes, and you can either release the steam manually. Sorry I steamed your face there, but I wasn't in a hurry today, so I just let it cool off on its own. Once it's safe to open the cooker, just take out the meat and it should be falling apart and super tender. If you're enjoying this video, then please hit that like button and tell me where you're watching from. I'd love to know. Go ahead and reserve that beautiful cooking liquid because we're going to use it later. And now using 2 forks, go ahead and shred that beef. If you cooked your meat long enough, this will be very effortless and even maybe a little bit fun. It'll be very easy to remove any unwanted fat or silver skin, so just go ahead and do that. And once all your meat is all beautifully shredded, just like you see here, just set it aside and now we're going to make our sauce. And for that, we're going to heat a large skillet on medium high and add a little bit of oil. Once that oil is hot, we're going to add some onions and garlic and just let that sweat off for a couple of minutes until it's translucent. And if you season as you go, everything tastes better. So go ahead and add a little salt. And now we're going to add in some green onions and let that cook for another 30 seconds. And next we're going to add in some paprika, cumin, and a little dried oregano. Stir this around for a few seconds to toast those spices. That'll help get rid of their raw flavor. And now we're going to add 3 roughly chopped tomatoes. Just dump those right in there, along with a good healthy tablespoon of tomato paste. Now stir this around and let it cook on medium-high for 10 to 12 minutes until those tomatoes break down and form a sauce. After several minutes of cooking, those tomatoes are going to get really soft, so go ahead and mash them with your wooden spoon. This is going to help things along. If you wanted to add a little more paprika, cumin, and oregano, now is the time to do so. But once everything is looking more or less like a good tomato sauce, you can add in the beef. Our carne desmechada is just minutes away from being ready. Now you can take that reserved cooking liquid from earlier and add in as much as you want, about 1 to 2 cups. It really depends on how soupy you want this. Recipes like this will vary from household to household, so none of these measurements can be right or wrong. But anyway, you want to bring this back to a simmer and let it cook for another 5 to 7 minutes, just enough to heat that meat and further develop the flavors. Check for seasoning, mine needed more salt and pepper, and that's it. Your carne desmechada is ready to serve. Now the chances are good you're not going to need all that cooking liquid from earlier and you're going to have some left over. If that's the case, don't throw it away. Keep it around in case your meat dries out for whatever reason and you have to add more, or you can use it in another recipe, or even to cook your next batch of rice, which happens to be the perfect accompaniment for this. Carne desmechada is also great in sandwiches, and it can also be used as an empanada filling. It's pretty much endless what you can do with this. And because I'm old school and I have it, I'm going to garnish it with a sprig of parsley, which will prove to be useless because it's just going to get in my way, but oh well. If you were raised on a dish similar to this, then tell me all about it in the comments. Otherwise, if you give it a try, let me know how it worked out for you.